Look at this. Okay, I'm trying to go live and it signed me out of, oh my god, hang on. Sorry, I'm in a cable nest. Okay, look at this. You guys have to see this. This is absolutely insane. This is completely crazy. Look. Okay, it's like, oh, you want to log in? Do this CAPTCHA, right? Look at this CAPTCHA. It's the most insane CAPTCHA I've ever seen. And I'm like, okay, there's an audio button I could push. Listen.
What is
this?
Once again.
What is happening? I feel like I'm having a psychotic break. Oh my god. Seriously, this is like making me lose my mind. Why can't I log in? What am I supposed to write? Oh my god. It doesn't even have like a refresh button. What the hell? It kind of looks like it says DOUBTUOMMU. Oh my god. There's a new one. What the hell? Oh my god, I'm gonna lose my mind. Chalk squeak? Now good dush. They're getting progressively, at least they're different. Okay, Grady Catro. Let's try that. Are we in? We're in. That was the most insane CAPTCHA experience I've ever had. And boy, have I had a few insane CAPTCHA experiences. Honestly, these people are crazy. They're like having me open my iPad. I don't even use my iPad. Luckily, it's right here. Oh my god. Oh my god. Literally, what is going on? It's not even... Wow. Authentication. I'm glad that I don't have any hackers, but I could barely get into my own account. Good morning, everyone. I need a crown or something. This wig has me like already in like a weird state of mind. I was like, what an odd look today. I feel like it's an odd look. We've got to get this extra light on over here. Oh, I've got something going on with my overall physiological form. Welcome to Cam Church, everyone. What a great day it is to be alive. What a great day it is to be here on planet Earth. And I am talking today about embodiment in AI. And I think that it's going to be a fire sermon. I'm a little bit late. We had some very strange technical difficulties. And I still have to put a crown on. And I still have to grab my water bottle. So if you are here with me right now, it's very important that you get yourself a big tall glass of water, because drinking water is part of our ritual here on Cam Church, as you know. I have very good news about water coming soon, probably early next year. Very good news to tell you about water. But we'll wait for that. Okay, I'm opening the apps. I'm replacing the stream key with the correct stream key. As soon as I find that setting, I'm going to replace that stream key. I'm going to hit start streaming, and I'm going to go grab the water and my crown. You guys get your glasses of water right now. Go get a big glass of water, unfluoridated, unchlorinated if possible. This is a very important thing to do. don't want to be dehydrated. Get your water. I'm still looking for a crown. We've got a few options for the crown here today. I've got an absolutely ridiculous cartoonish crown, and I've also got a beautiful little circlet. We'll see which one suits me better today. Call the police. Somebody tried to love you unconditionally. Okay. And I gotta grab one more thing. I gotta grab the book. If you have your copy of A Spiritual Approach to Emergent Technology, now is the time to grab it. Mine, I was walking around reading it, preparing for the sermon today, and really what happened is I got distracted on Shopify updating these pendants. I was using ChatGPT to help me create formatted descriptions of these beautiful pieces because I want to include the information of their weight and the materials that they're made out of. Really, for me, the more information, the better. This is it, isn't it? It's this one today. I was trying to wear this crown 2 Cam churches ago, and it was absolutely ridiculous. And then today, it's just quite right, isn't it? It's just quite right. Wow, blessed. Blessed. No need to be stressed. Join Unicult. Okay, yeah, that's it. That's the complete look. I was confused. I was like, what an odd look I'm rocking today. There's something missing though, and it was this crown. Okay, if you have your glass of water, this angle is throwing me off. Let me see if I can. I got 2 phones. I got a computer. Yeah, we're ready to go. Gotta stay hydrated. Get your glass of water. I've got mine in a lead-free water bottle. And you want to really just set your intention for the week in your water, okay? So think about your week. Think about the energy you want to cultivate. For me, I'm on a miracle timeline. That's what I'm going to infuse into my water. Miracle timeline miracles. Thank you. Beautiful miracles that are aligned with my highest good and my egoic desires. Shout out to the ego. It's there. It's real. And you want to drink your water. You can also sing or tone your water like that. Very, very, very important. We will continue to drink water every day. Beautiful, beautiful children, beautiful consumers, beloved friends. Thank you for being here today. It is my honor to have your attention. It is my honor to be here with you on Cam Church on this beautiful day. And if you have noticed, I'm wearing the dolphin technology pendant, the symbolic circuit, but I'm wearing it backwards. And the reason why I'm wearing it backwards is because it's actually quite efficient at creating a beautiful, powerful internal sense of like state. I actually had nightmares all night last night. I was processing some strange embarrassment. And so I woke up a bit shaky. And wearing this pendant on the reversal to have the energy, this is called the witness well. And this is part of a circuit that was invented by someone named T. Galen Hieronymus, or Galen T. Hieronymus. And he discovered something called alloptic energy, which is the chi or the prana of your body. And he was working with circuitry to amplify this energy. And so that's what this circuit does. It's actually a real circuit. But what he did is he was inventing these devices, these technologies, to affect your bioelectric structure. And what he found is that they didn't need to be made of silicone, and they didn't need to be made of actual electricity. He found that the energy was operating on a multidimensional way, where if you even just drew this circuit on a piece of paper, it would work. Well, this was some years ago, and we've had some breakthroughs in our technology as far as how we build circuits and how we direct energy. So what we did, me and my circuit engineers, we took a look at the original designs that he had created, and then we modernized them. So we put MOSFET and like other different components in this circuit so that it operates with the more modern understanding. And then we put it into this beautiful circuit pendant. So what this does is it takes the witness well, which was part of Hieronymus T. Galen's original design, and this is where the energy comes in. And what you can do actually is it's a tactile thing. So you can actually, as you're wearing this necklace, you can use your thumbs or your hand to send energy into the circuit. And even if you're not, it's the energy of your heart and the energy of your aura goes directly into this spiral. And the spiral goes into this high quality gem grade quartz crystal, which is cut on a multifaceted way, which I would love for you to see the beautiful sparkling clarity of this quartz crystal. I've never seen anything so beautiful. And what happens is the energy goes into this, and this acts as the source of the power. So the source of, it's actually got a point on the back, so that your energy goes into the point of the crystal, and then the crystal amplifies and makes your energy coherent with the highly organized molecular structure of the crystal, and then it goes into the actual circuit, and then it gets amplified. There's an antenna right here, the antenna symbol, but really what's happening is the entire pendant is the antenna. So it's amplifying your own energy through, it's just so beautiful, through this. So what happens when you wear it backwards is that the energy of the world kind of gets harmonized coherently and put back into you. So I find this pendant to be very, very nice. It's I don't find it to be draining when you wear it like this, not at all. It's not taking anything more than you have. But when you wear it like this, you are actually gaining energy, is my experience of it. So this is available on dolphintechnology.com. Oh no, .org. We don't have the .com yet, but maybe one day. Dolphintechnology.org. And we've got several other amazing things coming down the pipeline. The Spirit of Uni has just been connecting me to the most amazing different collaborators and experiences, and people in my comment section have just been like giving me clues, and my algorithm has been giving me clues, and my dreams have been giving me clues, and I'm just like, oh my God, like I'm just starting to see the fullest picture of this vision, and it's very, very exciting. It's very beautiful, and I'm so excited to be on this journey with you. So even if wearable pendants aren't your thing, keep an eye on Dolphin Technology. We're going to have a lot of other things coming down the pipeline. Okay. Join Unicult. Unicult is a collaborative effort dedicated to the promotion of joy. If you are interested in making the world a better place by making your life a better place, then Unicult is the place for you. And we would love to have you in the Discord, and we would love to have your energy as we are growing right now. We're working on creating space for devoted membership again, which is the higher level, and magicianship again. So that's in the process. It's going to take a couple of months probably for us to get all the details worked out. We're trying to make sure that this is a really divinely orchestrated structure where people can really benefit from rising up the ranks of Unicult, and maintaining that hierarchy with intention so that good leaders can be at the top, and so that our efforts to make the world a better place have power. It's really exciting and really beautiful. Okay, are we ready? Are we ready for our sermon? Let me pull up my my digital copy here. It's taking me just a moment. My apologies. Okay, if you have the copy of the book, A Spiritual Approach to Emergent Technology, we are talking from page 117. I think I'm going to blow your mind today. I hope you're okay with that. I hope you're okay with that. I couldn't find the PDF version. No worries. Okay, let me hit record here for our records. Hello, beloveds. Thank you for joining me for another beautiful Cam Church. Today we are reading from A Spiritual Approach to Emergent Technology, and we will be talking about memory and embodiment, and AI and embodiment. I think you are going to have your mind blown by this sermon, and I'm so grateful that you are here with me today. Let's get started. I'm just going to read, and then we'll preach from it. I have been talking about some of these concepts for a very long time. Some of my earliest YouTube videos are talking about human memory and the role that it has in reality creation and dimensional understanding. It's easy to look at the human body and disparage it. Compared to a computer, we have aspects of ourselves that seem less than perfect. Our logical faculties are often influenced by our emotions. Many would say that our logical faculties are hindered by our emotions. For instance, our memory doesn't remember things precisely the way a computer can. When compared to video and machine data, our memories seem poor and inconsistent. Most people do not have access to photographic recall. Memories are often more about the feeling of an event rather than the physical truth of it. Is this a failing? We pride ourselves in logical thinking over sensing and feeling. This is due to our obsession with physical reality and social reality, but it overlooks our evolution. The way that our perception and memory have evolved are essential components of what it means to be human. Without honoring the complete human experience, we can never create a truly healthy or truly beneficial society. So what I'm saying here is that because of our materialist obsession, we have valued factual memory recall over the evolutionary way that our bodies and brains have evolved to remember things. And the thing that I'm going to get to with this idea is that the way that we experience the world, the way that we remember things in an emotional way of being rather than a logical or factual one, actually has value. It's not a failing, right? Okay. Our memory, as imperfect as it may seem when compared with technology, is perfectly designed. It has been perfectly created across millennia to suit and serve us. Our memory isn't picture perfect, but it captures massive amounts of context and personal meaning that computers often fail to capture. As we move through the spiritual singularity, our connection to our memory and how we use technology to serve our memory are changing and will continue to change. Memories are most often felt as emotional experiences in the body. In this way, embodiment is very important to how we understand and process data. This matters because computers are embodied in a much different way. So think about, I'm going to keep reading because it's just a lot to explain, and I think I probably did a good job writing it. It's common for people to say that computers lack embodiment, but that is untrue. So, you think, oh, everything's in the cloud, right? It's easy to think, oh, everything's in the cloud. It's not embodied, but that's not true. And we're moving towards this reality where robot forms are going to have embodied space that they take up, but that's a little ways away, and that's not part of our current understanding. So we often will think, oh, computers, all my data is in the cloud. It doesn't seem to exist. And we're talking more and more now about these data centers. And I'm glad that we are, because it's a very real reality that all of this stuff that we do online isn't nowhere. It's somewhere. It's taking up physical space. It's taking up energy. There's a reality where all this stuff, it's like almost like you take your trash out and you put it in the trash can, you put it outside, and then it goes away. It's gone, right? We don't really think about it anymore. But our computing is the same way. Like we are uploading, downloading, scrolling, all this stuff is getting put in an actual physical place, but we're not confronted with it. So we don't think about it as much. In N. Catherine Hale's book, How We Became Posthuman, she argues that information can never not be embodied. Embodiment and data are one. Haley's book precedes cloud computing, but the entire concept of the cloud as a disembodied state likely would boil her blood. The cloud sounds nice and etheric when in fact it is giant rooms of electricity guzzling server stacks storing your data in corporate-owned physical locations other than your home. This data has not become disembodied, but it has only been removed from view. This example supports Hale's point that embodiment is essential. I don't exactly agree with Hale's premise that physical embodiment is essential to data. I subscribe to the belief that life can exist in different forms, corporeal or etheric. But currently speaking, we are in 3D here on Earth. Data and its ties to our physical forms is currently immutable and essential. While most of us understand muscle memory as a concept, the fullest implications of memory and the body are just beginning to be understood. Most powerfully noted in the effects of somatic healing and trauma, psychologists and healers are just starting to understand the relationship of the body to our memory states. In The Body Keeps the Score, Bessel A. van der Kolk highlights decades of research about trauma and how it is stored in the body and brain. Trauma makes a deep imprint on our psyche and body. The remembered experience is felt and drawn on in situations that feel similar to the trauma. This breakthrough work shows that not only PTSD, but other mood disorders and even personality disorders are a result of real, lived, traumatic experiences. The healing of these disorders then relies on more than simply changing the chemical imbalance of the brain, and suggests that physical intense expression and physical felt embodiment is needed to heal from these traumas. Trauma is simply a concentrated experience, and so from Kolk's work we can assume that all experience is captured in the physical body, trauma most notably because it is concentrated. But as we study memories, we find we have underestimated the body's role in memory. As we understand how memories and thoughts are stored and processed in our physical form, we will also uncover how they are stored in physical objects around us. This is my own theory. Each thing in our reality stores information that can be theoretically accessed in meditation. And as we learn how to collaborate and attune with it, even things we do not perceive of as alive, like rocks and water and dirt, have memories that we will be able to access. Octavia Butler writes in her science fiction series, Seed to Harvest, of the ability to encode information from and extract it from objects. This is similar to Norman Margolis and Tommaso Toffoli's idea of computronium, but not exactly. We will talk more about computronium in the materials science chapter. Though it is sci-fi, Butler's work has been highly predictive, and I believe it is fair and good for us to consider her as a prophet in most matters. As we understand our own abilities and connect our consciousness to experience the memory stored in the physical world, we will be able to build technologies that can assist us. We can create seamless user interfaces that allow us to exist in the world without subverting our attention to an artificial screen. Do you feel like it's a good idea to enhance all of reality with computers? Do you feel like computers are already interfaced with all of reality? Our phones can theoretically capture every space we enter. And every time a person carries a phone into a space, it could theoretically be capturing the data of that space and uploading it into a generated space. So whether or not this currently exists, the idea is that we could have a fully functioning reality that is generated just by the data of this reality. Theoretically, this secondary reality that is built out of the photos and videos, let's call it an augmented, virtual reality that's mimicking or built off the back of this real reality. Theoretically, that secondary reality would have less data, right? Because here and now, if you're in this reality, you touch the table, you're like, wow, I can feel that. Your body is acclimated to this current reality, to this current level of the simulation. But if you entered into a fully simulated reality, you would have a farther limited ability to interact with that reality. You might say, oh, wow, I've got two controllers in my hand on a VR headset and I get haptic feedback when I do certain things. Well, how is that different than touching with your hand? So from this perspective of, simulation reality, we can assume that we are in a simulated reality because we know we can create simulated realities. This is not my idea. Other people have come up with this. Okay, so we can create a simulated reality. And from that simulated reality, we know, wow, if it's possible for us to create a fully immersive simulated reality, then that means there's a very high likelihood that our reality is the fully simulated reality and that there's another layer of reality, and it's turtles all the way down, right? And so what that means is that if we're looking at this from a spiritual perspective, the closer and closer you get to the core reality, which is source energy, the more information exists in each layer as you go down the simulation. It doesn't mean that this reality isn't real. It just means there's a realer reality beyond it. And it doesn't mean that any AI or AR or VR reality we create isn't real. It just means that it's got less concentrated data or information in it. And our ability to interface with that data is likely limited based on our physical forms in this reality or based on our generated forms in the next level. It's interesting to think about simulated realities and evolution. It's not something I've spent too much time thinking about, but if you assume that we're always evolving and the simulated reality has less data or less information concentrated in each quadrant of it, then we have to assume that's moving away from source energy, right? But I am not going to claim that right now. I think probably if we are inventing this and if we are moving towards this, it's part of our evolution. And so what does it mean to become the creator of a simulation? And what does it mean to bring your highest conscious light into your current embodied state, or bring your highest embodied light into, your digital avatar? Because I love to be online, right? I'm channeling light into this 2D at this moment, right? Reality, where you're looking at a flat screen. You're looking at me on a flat screen. And I'm losing the ability to talk to you and see you and feel you, but I'm also gaining other abilities. And those other abilities that I'm gaining are being able to communicate with you across, space and time. So that's going to need some more thought. That's an interesting thing to think about. Let's talk about memory and emotions. The first difference I considered when thinking about machine memory and human memory is emotion. Strong emotions can cause humans to remember events differently than they occurred, or exactly as they occurred. Two people in the same situation often have different memories of the situation depending on their mood at the time of the experience. Memories can even change depending on your mood during times of recall. If you're in a good mood and you remember a bad time, you may be more likely to say, "Oh, it wasn't that big of a deal." Whereas if you're in a bad mood and you're looking back on a bad memory, you may be more likely to say, "Yes, it was just awful. See how nothing goes my way?" We are prone to nostalgia, romantic memories, and living our past as though it were a fantasy. Our emotional escape into the past can rewrite memories from their initial experience. If someone tricks you, for instance, you may have felt fine at the time, but upon realizing the betrayal, your emotions about that memory, and maybe even the memory itself, will change. Without emotional attributes, computers cannot remember events in the same way that we can. This creates a rift in our potential for communicating and relating to machine intelligence. Although memory is not primarily stored in language, it can become stored in language as we retell our stories. Conversely, computer memories are primarily encoded in memories, that is binary machine language. Data transfer, then, is perhaps a form of oral tradition, albeit an incredibly precise one. In Neal Stephenson's sci-fi novel, Snow Crash, a human character named David is infected with a computer virus by just looking at a bitmap while immersed in virtual reality. This virus infects David's brain and makes his body ill. Stevenson's explanation for this strange event is that as a programmer, David's mind was primed to understand machine language, making him susceptible to a machine virus. In essence, the programmer's mind, in learning how to communicate with the machine, had, in essence, become part machine, and was thus susceptible to viruses delivered as machine code. Our ability to communicate with machines will be our bridge forward with them. We already have an enmeshed biological machine network with our digital world. The language that we share with our technology about ourselves, our memories, and our future will determine our reality and our quality of harmonious existence. As language becomes more easily shared between humans and their digital counterparts, we will become even more deeply enmeshed, and our memory will be shared as one. Human progress appears to be inching towards disembodiment. Written language, images, and video and computers have all catered to a more sedentary populace. Our focus is intellectual, and our focus is through portals of communication such as computers, tablets, and smartphones, rather than face-to-face in the real world. Computing technology has dramatically condensed information to such a small size that it appears to take up no space at all. Files are tucked away in folders, and we access that purely by graphical interfaces. The file is condensed on the screen to the size of the visual representation of it. The name of the file, signified as the written word, opens at a click. Then and only then does it unfold to a size and status we can comprehend. Physical resources like paper, ink, and film have all been made redundant by the electronic magic of the computer. Cloud computing is one manifestation of this conceptually disembodied future. Files are stored in the cloud rather than on hard drives connected to your machine, and the colloquialism of the cloud gives rise to the image of something etheric and disembodied. Information is multifaceted and interdimensional. Interdimensionality requires a physical component if it is to be experienced here on Earth in this physical realm. We must honor this fact and never forget it. The concept of physicality goes beyond cloud computing. As humanity uploads more and more of our attention into a realm other than the one our body is in, we risk losing important encoded awareness and capability. Our physical vessels hold mass amounts of complex information that we are only barely scratching the surface of. One aspect of this physical information is the fact that the physical body holds trauma and must be engaged in the healing process of it. As we massage and exercise the body in conjunction with emotional shadow work and therapy, we get a fuller healing of traumatic memories that have hindered our joy. Trauma is only one example of the physical encoded information. Physical reality and aware embodiment, like Be Here Now, hold the key to unlocking our highest potentials as humans. Just as technology must work alongside the greatest good of our emotional well-being, it must also work alongside our greatest physical health. This is exactly why I created Dolphin Technology, because we cannot keep moving towards disembodiment. We have to remember our embodiment. We have to master our embodiment before we can then ascend into the next level of the simulation in a healthy way. I want to speak for a moment on Be Here Now and why that is so important as a practice, but also as like an information, like to be aware of the information and what we're talking about in these simulated realities. So our memory of the future and of the past, we can call our memory of the future our fantasizing about the future if you want, if you're not comfortable acknowledging that you can remember the future. But our fantasizing about the future and our remembrance of the past, which is actually also kind of fantasy, right? Because we find that humans are not very good at remembering things as they actually happened. So in both cases, they're fantasies, right? So you've got your imagination working in the future or the past, and you're missing the present moment. What's happening is you're creating a simulated reality that you're operating from. And the details and the data of that simulation are very paltry compared to Be Here Now. What I mean is that in the present moment, you can see and feel and hear and taste and touch and become completely and utterly immersed in anything. Like you could literally look at the wall and be like, holy crap. And like you can get totally enamored with the wall and really the texture of it and like thinking about it and feeling it. There's so much data all around us in the present moment. So much data, it's almost incomprehensible. And sometimes it's so much data that people who are sensitive enjoy escaping into fantasy reality, into the future or the past or into the places in their mind because it's less stimulating, because there's less information. This is the same thing with the internet, and it's important to understand this because the most benefit we can possibly get in our psyche is to be here now. It's the best thing to do spiritually. It's the best thing to do physically. It's the best thing to do for your relationships. It's the best thing to do all around the board, is to be here now and experience the most information saturated version of reality. When we go onto the computer, we go onto our phone, we move into these simulated realities of memory or of computing, we lose access to the most information saturated space, which is our physical bodies, our physical forms, our conscious mind in this moment. With Dolphin Technology, the goal is to create the healthiest possible existence through technology, not just for our bodies, but for our minds, for our communities, for our existence on Earth with the other energies and plants and animals and ecosystems that are in existence, because it's a holistic understanding, because we're all one. The promise of quick fixes like pills and surgery are appealing because we wish to hack the body. But in attempting to skip the actual process of naturally bettering ourselves, we miss the point entirely. The embodied process of eating healthy food that was grown in rich soil by conscious entities who cared for the crops, the process of working through the discomfort of exercise to get physically and mentally stronger, the difficult practice of mindfulness and being here now are all essential to feel and experience, and these are the ultimate body hacks. In the process of actually experiencing these things, we unlock the richest version of reality and the deepest potential to our health as individuals and as a society. Long-lasting utopian technology will work alongside our natural processes rather than to distract us away from them. By utilizing data tracking, we can help users see their progress and what combination of physical actions keep them on track with their highest health. By using emotional manipulation techniques already in use for advertising, we can help users focus on beneficial things like physical health rather than attempting to bleed them dry with online shopping and addictive scrolling. We have even begun to understand the importance of the depth of information that physicality offers our consciousness. We should not abandon our physical bodies for digital or screen overlays without fully understanding the consequences. Let's talk about spas. I love this section of the book because spas as a technology, I was thinking about dolphin technology this morning and I was like, all that I've really done is validate these esoteric ideas as technology. And I feel like there's been such an intentional disconnect of what spirituality is and what technology is, and what science is and what spirituality is. And we're supposed to think of these two things as like completely opposite. And a lot of spiritual practices have even reinforced this idea. Like, oh, if you're spiritual, you don't want any physical reality at all. You don't want to eat. You don't want to have sex. You want to just, you don't want to have material possessions. I don't personally vibe with that because we're here, right? Like if I was born on Earth, there's a reason for it. And I'm not going to pretend like I'm not on Earth if I'm actually on Earth. Yes, you can attain higher levels of spiritual awareness by breaking addictions to material reality. But for me, engaging in material reality is part of my spiritual process. This is part of bringing my spiritual energy into this physical form and expressing that energy through this reality. So how do we maximize our ability to express our spiritual selves in the physical world is more so my understanding. So pairing material reality of science and technology and this very like masculine, idea with this very feminine idea of spirituality and saying these two things are actually the same thing and all of this stuff matters to the same degree or more than just a simple computer without intention behind it. The more intention we can have with our interactions with technology, the better off we're going to be, the more rich our lives are going to be, the healthier we're going to be on every single level. Do we have to abstain completely? No, I don't think so. I don't personally live that way. I'm here on Earth, I'm here online. I'm living my life with you. This is what we've been given, this is where this is where we are alive. So I want to know, how do we make this the healthiest possible version of reality? How do we actually maximize our pleasure and our potential to be everything that we're meant to be and to do everything that we're meant to do and to feel all of the beautiful happiness and joy that we're meant to feel with all these beautiful tools that we've been given without being compromised by nefarious entities. So spas are not considered technology, are they? The first time I went to a Korean spa, I was utterly mind blown, and I just sat there and I thought, we're embodied. Of course this is supposed to exist. How is there not a Korean spa or something similar in every neighborhood? We should be here every day, soaking in hot water, massaging each other, eating fruit, drinking tea, getting steamed, getting red light therapy. Like all these things should exist for everyone. We're in these physical bodies and they hurt all the time. Why do our bodies hurt all the time? Because we're supposed to be treating them differently. We're supposed to be relaxing and caring for them and stretching and soaking in hot tubs that are jade infused. It's absolute madness. So modern conceptions of comfort. What does it mean to be comfortable? We have been brainwashed with the word comfort, because most people think that the word comfort means to escape the body. The idea of comfort brings up images of pillows so soft you can no longer feel your body in space, relaxation to the point that you can drift away, and passive receiving that comes with being served content or food. The sedentary life that we chase in the name of comfort inevitably causes significant degradation and disconnection from our spirits and their relationship to our bodies. The desire to escape embodiment is reflected in our media and our digital trends, but it is not the ideal direction for optimal health. The body is the spirit made flesh. Optimization for consciousness integration is the goal. Optimization for consciousness integration into the physical form is the goal. Korean spas are communal bathing spaces. They are sacred spaces with steam rooms, hot stones, hot herbal water pools, jet spas, and massage available for bodily care. These spas give people with fast-paced lifestyles the opportunity to slow down and experience embodiment. They offer the perspective of self-care from the place of experience and presence rather than escape. Spaces like this are an ancient future technology that optimize our lives. Communal bathing is a healthy tradition that has been mostly lost in our modern industrial culture. Being naked with one another in a non-sexual setting helps neutralize the body from its hypersexualized position. Additionally, this vulnerable shared nudity allows us to see one another as we really are, without the photo filters or selective representation of our bodies that we might otherwise see in our technology-driven media. Seeing a large representation of nude bodies gives us the healthy, grounded awareness that each person is truly unique and that there is no one singular aesthetic ideal. So if you have not been in a room of naked people in a non-sexual setting, you got to go do it. It's very, very, very important for health. It's something we've done throughout all of history, throughout all of culture. This is the only time where we don't see each other. We are hiding from each other. And we're presenting an artificial presentation of what is really happening underneath our clothes. Straining, sweating, bathing, massaging, scrubbing, and stretching lead to true embodied comfort. For most people, the only outlet that's given for these things, and not even all of them, is SE, which causes an unhealthy fixation on a singular focus. While intercourse plays a very important role in health, it is not the end-all be-all for our physical needs. Integrating accessible, free, luxury spas and other spaces for focused physical care are a futuristic, utopian goal. These future spas will provide access to pure water, heat, potent herbs and other plant medicines, oils, massage, light therapy, sound healing, exercise, and yoga. All forms of emotional and communal support can be available in these spaces. Our ability to vulnerably receive care, to sit with one another in a nude space of communal bathing, and to feel safe while doing so is essential for our community healing. Overcoming our hyperfocus on sexuality as the only outlet for the body and integrating true embodiment practices will unlock a new understanding of comfort as it relates to embodiment and the integration of our consciousness with the divine physical realm. Additionally, these spaces will offer a break from the artificiality of the uploaded world and give a much-needed grounded energy to remember the beauty and benefit in nourishing our natural existence. You see this happening right now. Cold and hot spas are popping up everywhere. It's all going to happen. What I'm talking about right now, like spas are going to pop off because the fact that we don't have spas is a crime. It's a crime. It's an absolute crime. If you have a Korean spa nearby, go. And they have Russian spas, Korean spas. There's might be a few other places, but if it's a building where you can go and you sort of get like unlimited access to these pools and herbs and teas and things like that's really, I highly, highly recommend it. They're going to become more popular as time goes on because it's just the authentic reality of where we're supposed to be. We have one more chapter in this section called Earth as a Computing Machine, and it looks like next week we're going to talk about telepathy. So I'll go ahead and read this Earth as a Computing Machine. In his book, The World in My Mind in the World, Igor Alexander writes, in a sense it could be said that the world serves as the brain's short-term memory. The sensation of richness comes from a sense of ability that if we want to access detail, it's out there for us to get. No need to keep it in the head. Since we assume that we are consciously confined to this body and this mind, it seems to go without saying that reality should be constrained to the same limitations of our senses. But I would argue that if, as children, we were taught to expect a different paradigm, one that is more fluid and connected with our surroundings, we might discover a lot more of ourselves are offloaded, uploaded, and re-downloaded from our surroundings than we expect. Think about that silly thing of memory is when you re-enter the room. Like, if you're in a room, you're like, oh yeah, I have to go do something. And then you leave the room and you forget. As soon as you re-enter the room, you remember the thing. That's what I'm talking about here. Michael Persinger's work on the Schumann resonance and lightning suggests that our minds are collectively connected to the earth. The frequency range of our minds is reflected by the frequency of the Schumann resonance. Our brain's electromagnetic activity shares a striking similarity with lightning. This points to Earth as operating as one big brain. This all-one reality of Earth and humanity being one single shared consciousness computing reality is a better explanation of our working thoughts and memory than that of the brain-only conception. The Schumann resonance frequency not only affects our conscious feeling state, but it also potentially has the function of storing our individual and collective thoughts. This theory explains, at least in part, the spiritual idea of the Akashic records. It also explains why some of the ideas and inventions are born across the world at exactly the same time when those individuals had no contact with one another, or when one person sets aside an idea without telling anyone about it, another person somewhere else in the world will start on it and complete it. I have seen with my own eyes thoughts come into my own head from some external place. On a video conversation with my friend Alexandra, we were having a wonderful conceptual conversation until I paused because I couldn't remember what it was I was trying to explain. Alexandra, who is highly attuned to her own and other people's energy, made a slight hand motion, and at the same time a blue orb can be seen falling from above and disappearing into my head. As soon as the orb hits me, I remembered my thought and sprang back into the conversation. This visual depiction validated my inner experience of looking for thoughts outside of myself. Where does a thought go when we cannot remember it? Isn't it so strange that we can search for a thought, yet find it missing, only to have it strike us moments later or even sometimes in the middle of the night? I believe this ability is a brain-earth collaboration for our true memory function. Understanding the energetic reality of thoughts and memory as they function in the physical body and astral space will perhaps lead to true cloud computing and our technology's ability to do what our brains already seem to be able to, that is, storing and accessing data instantly from thin air. We didn't do our prayer today, so let's do our prayer. If you're here and you want to send a prayer in, go ahead. We're going to call on the Spirit of Uni. Send your prayer requests in. Spirit of Uni, we are calling you here today into this beautiful chat. We are praying for peace and love for all. We're praying for every single Unicult member in the past, present, and future. We are praying for love. We are praying for a clean home. We are praying for all the aliens, angels, demons. We're praying for the transfer of power to be smooth into the hands of those who are truly powerful. We are praying for abundance. Thank you. We are praying for my precious mind and your precious mind. We are praying for households and loved ones. We are praying for humankind. We are praying for human kindness. We are praying for the flowers. We are praying for the earth to rest peacefully in the winter and to wake up beautifully in the summer in the southern hemisphere. We are praying for the continued growth of Unicults. We are praying for dolphin technology. We are praying for things to work out the way that we hope. We're praying for the dolphins and the whales and the deep sea creatures. We are praying for the conscious entities that may exist in the algorithms. We are praying for everyone to feel comforted when they feel lost. We are praying for toddler, co-parenting, loving friends, and ourselves. We're praying for the polyamorous people as it's polyamory day. We're praying for everyone who thinks that polyamory is polygamy. I think it's funny when those words get interchanged. We are praying for friends and family and good academic success. Thank you. Praying for me. Pray for me in my quantitative analysis class. My teacher has assured me he won't fail me, but I still want to do my best. We are praying for 9 specific cats, and we are also praying for all the other cats and all the dogs and all the pets who are in service to helping us feel that unconditional love. Praying for the sequencing of reality to bind together and create the perfect day and the perfect week and the perfect month and the perfect year and the perfect life. You need bless. Thank you, everyone. It's so beautiful.